All right. Good afternoon. How you guys doing? Doesn't seem to be anybody in chat yet. I guess it's oh, there's a couple. Hey, Lucky. How you doing? This is a impromptu video. I was just figuring we could mess around with mud fossils. Teresa Danton sent me a few images. Hey, Travis, how you doing? So we got some stuff to look at. Some images that Teresa has augmented, and of course Google Earth. Or maps. I like using maps. Here I sit. Boring day. I'm stuck inside. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I have a bit of an eye infection, so I have to should stay inside, away from all the pollen and dust. I have a HEPA filter going off in the distance there. Hopefully you guys can't hear it too much. But yeah, I'm doing great. Other than that. So because this show is just for us, we don't worry about any protocol. So, hey, Karen, how you doing? Good to see you. Scratch. Oh, wow. Awesome. Getting a crowd in here. Yeah, so I thought we'd look at some maps images. There's also some images that Teresa sent in that she augmented. She thought there were some interesting things in there. I thought she had some good stuff. Of course, we're looking right now at Tiamat, my favorite mud fossil of all. Right. Yeah, that happens to me too, Lucky. Do you sleep in? I think I don't know if it's if that's actually what does it, but yeah, it seems like it. Or uh, we could be more targeted at home. I find people like even uh, people I work with do find that when they go home, some of them have toothaches and other pains that show up. So I don't know if maybe that's it. I do as well. It's like they target us at home. We have to somehow figure out protection for our homes, I think. Great. You're multitasking, Karen. Awesome. And my wife used to get toothaches at the same time as me, too. We'd be sitting at home after work, and suddenly both of us would get a toothache. Just your jaw would start getting sore. Nothing on that, Lucky? Okay. All right. So let's go look at some mud fossils. If you guys have any questions about mud fossils, I'm okay at mud fossils. I'm just a practicing mud fossil hunter, just like you guys. But I think I have some grasp of the concept, the geology, and all that. Okay, so let's take a look at Teresa's. I have to pull up Gmail. Teresa sent me some images that were pretty cool. She found a way to separate the different layers in the mud fossils. Max, stop that. Okay, where is that? Way at the bottom here. Let's see, open that. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's kind of what it is, Lucky. And all the devices we have at home as well. That's Oreo. Max loves Oreo. Oreo loves Max. They have a little online thing going on. There we go. Let's see here. There we go. So, Max, that's not helpful. So, Teresa thinks that some of these could be body parts. Some of them could be, she thinks maybe even worms. Um, there's just some interesting structures, but you can see how she's enhanced it, how the landscape looks is separated from whatever that structure is. By her enhancement, she's really made it stand out. And I'm wondering if she can do this with also with things like Tiamat and there's the two dragons, or the dragon and what looks more like a turtle in San Francisco Bay. It does. It tries to disrupt your sleep patterns. I've found, Lucky. What they do is at the times like at dinner time when people are trying to feed their kids, they'll hit us. Then around 8 o'clock when you're trying to put your kids to bed, 8 to 9 o'clock, and then again around 11 to 12, they usually hit us again, and that's to interrupt and disrupt your sleep. So they're really after our sleep and our interactions, like when we have to majorly interact with each other. At least that's what it seems like to me. Hi, Desert Rose. Hi. How are you? Are you trying to get down? There you go, buddy. Over there. Oh, that's better. Hey, Mystery Schooler. How you doing? Good to see you. So we're just looking at some images that Teresa Danton enhanced. Let's see if we can go to the next one here. So you can see the really good separation of mud fossils, which is really nice. So she's good at that. Again, I think that's part of the same thing. And it does look like it could possibly be, I don't know, well, it's a body part, obviously, but it's got like holes and indentations all over it. Could be like an organ or part of an organ, or I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's see here. Well, I can zoom in on these, which is helpful. Let's go back, check out some of these holes. We're always interested in holes here. Okay, that's the maximum. So it does have what look like indentations right here, all over, really. And it looks like it as if it has splayed open whatever it is. So it does look like a solid structure that did not just an effluent mass. What it is, I can't tell. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Fossils, what's the definition of that word? Is it a noun? Well, there's fossils and then there's fossilization. Fossilization is the turning from flesh into stone or living material into stone. All right, you came pre-baked. Nice. Everyone bring munchies, I hope. So it can be a noun, fossil or fossilization. Fossilization is the verb form, and fossil is the noun form of turning to stone. Hope that's helpful. Yeah, you can even see in here in the middle, there's a pinkish spot as well. Now, she didn't tell me what body parts she thought some of these were. Now, this one was interesting. This looks like an artificial structure of some sort. Not to say that there couldn't be a natural phenomenon like this, but I don't know what it would be. Let's see where you guys are here. Turning from living material to stone. Yep, that will work. Petrified form. That'll work. It's a decent definition. So this one, Teresa thought maybe it could be possibly TR3B, an ancient TR3B type craft. Could be an ancient building. Could be biology. I'm not necessarily cutting that one out. Most things are biology. Let's see if we can get in close on this. How close we can get here. So I don't know. You can see some somewhat regular structures along the edge here. Hard to say. I'm not a biologist, right? Isn't that what? Okay, I think this is the same structure from a different angle. It looks a little more natural from this angle. A little less mud fossil-y like, right? Hi, Scott. How you doing? Yeah, they have a fossilized. It's talked about constantly in this community. The fossilized cowboy boot with the foot inside. So that could have been well under 100 years easily. You're a living fossil. That would mean bones and rocks in fossilized forms. Yeah. What's that? Scratch says. Exoskeletons, stone imprints of animals and microbes, objects, yep, preserved in amber, hair, petrified wood, oil, coal, DNA remnants, yep. Yeah, we have a pink clay up here that has little black balls in it. It's all skin balls. So this is a really cool image. I don't know what it is, but interesting structure that Teresa has found. Could be even just a foot. What happened in the flood? Well, in the hundred. Okay, if you read the Book of Giants in the 100,000 Giant War, it started to rain for the first time, and the earth turned to mud. And these titans and these giants all got stuck in the mud. So they would get one foot stuck, put another one down, and sink deeper, just like quicksand, I guess. And they died like that, or were killed like that by ones that were able to still move. And a lot of these mesas and things like that, they are the foot bones or the shins and the bottom parts of feet, uh, because that's the way these giants died. And after they were stuck in the mud, they got boiled in boiling hot water that I think came from the mid Atlantic. And I think that burst open with brimstone and also Venus going by. I think that caused it, caused the ocean to uh, burst open from the depths. And being mixed with the brimstone and being hot already, with Venus going by, probably discharging electricity onto the planet. That probably boiled the water as well. The Norse have a different perspective on the flood than the people of the middle of the planet, or the hemisphere, the middle hemisphere of the planet. And I've noticed that if you read Ragnarok and compare it uh, with the various Mesopotamian and other flood myths, Ragnarok may be a completely separate event, but I believe it's discussing something in the past. We should read that sometime. I should do Ragnarok because it's interesting with the hounds flying through the sky. Let me see. How are you guys doing? A platform to take off jets, etc. Yeah. And there's no reason, Deborah, hi. Good comment. There's no reason that they couldn't repurpose, things that were built in the past uh, on these sites where these giants died. Like, if you saw a nice column standing up and you wanted to build a house, well, you'd start digging in that. And apparently at the time it was soft, so it wouldn't be hard. You just start digging holes and, dig rooms and build your house. Read years ago in an old book that it rained on Earth millions of years ago. Yeah, but their dating processes, Desert Rose, are even suspect by themselves. They don't have any consensus on that their dating processes are accurate. The redshift has been dismissed as inaccurate already by many. Google Earth Pro, you can go through years of highest resolutions photos of Earth. Nice. And reference launch. Yeah, it's chuggy on my computer. That's why I use Maps, Karen Lynn, because of the chugginess on my computer. It's just much easier to use Maps, and we can get street views, which is cool. I like doing the street views on a lot of stuff. Lots of large skulls, a Stargate looking thing, rewrite all history. Yeah, especially a lot of the stuff that they're finding up in the Antarctica. Uh, all the images of weird structures and structures in line with each other, pyramidal structures. And much of the Antarctic looks like it's been mined. Um, with, if you remember, or let me see, there, it would take me a while to find them, but there are these ancient Mayan stone figurines, and what they are is they're a boxy looking thing with an arm that's sticking out of them, and on the arm it's got a big circular tooth thing, and it's a mining uh, it's a mining piece of mining equipment. What it does is it just swings around in a circle, and it makes all of these circular marks as it goes down into the ground, and it just carves out big circular areas, and it looks like all over the Antarctica that's been done. Let's take a look at that. We've looked at Teresa's images. Before life began, it rained. Um, Probably, like in the primordial sense, um, because our Earth had to live somewhere, and where it lived, there was probably water when it was alive. Florida Marquis has really studied it. Okay, yeah, I'd like to do some outline uh, drawings with some images on Google Earth of Tiamat and the various other structures that we find. The dragon, like Tiamat here. Um, I don't know if Deborah, you're familiar with my theory on this. This is Tiamat. Here's Tiamat's eye in the middle by Kyrgyzstan. Tiamat's forehead. Tiamat's other eyes squished. But here's the jawline, the beard, and the mouth of Tiamat. You can also see horns up here, remnants of in these structures. And there's the mud fossil above North Africa. You see it? Okay. I truly would like to know the truth about history, but yet the future is perplexing. Yeah. I have to balance where my research. Yeah, absolutely, Desert Rose. Yeah, I do both. I've been looking at how we're headed and fighting against what's been planned and implemented. But yeah, our ancient history is a great distraction for me. Uh, you know, figuring that out, like figuring out how Tiamat got to be our planet, how all these other creatures got here. You know, people see creatures in the landscape everywhere. Are you familiar with the dragon and fish in North Africa from Mud Fossil University, Deborah? So here's the fish shape. This, I believe, is, where is it? Where's the eye of the Sahara? There it is. There's a fishy eye that was possibly Atlantis. When you go in on this, you can almost see that there might have been boat slips. These very regular structures here. And it looks like it was concentric circles, the landscape mounded up here in the middle. And you could almost picture boats. And apparently there has been some evidence found of boats in the area and that it flooded out into the ocean. Be awesome to see it. Well, we've remote viewed it uh, while it was working and while people were there. No, I'm in the dark now. Okay, that's all right. Let me show you the whole structure then. So what we're looking at, there's an ancient story of a dragon and a fish. Okay, I'm going to show you the dragon. The dragon is hard to see in this one. Well, depends on your perception. I can show you another dragon that's very easily visible to a lot of people other than Tiamat. But over here on the left in the bottom, we have the dragon's head. The dragon's neck follows along where I'm putting the cursor now, coming up to the dragon's body, which comes around like this and continues up over here. These are the dragon's legs and the dragon's tail. Down here, including the eyes of the Sahara, we have the giant fish. The dragon is spitting the venom. I'll show you the venom coming out of the dragon's mouth. It looks very much like a toxin you would see in tissue, snake venom. Very nasty looking stuff. So this is what the dragon was spitting out. A toxic, maybe even flammable venom of some sort. It looks very much like a snake venom attacking tissue. So that's coming out of the dragon's mouth. I'll show you the dragon's head right here. There's the dragon's nose starting here, up along this line, going along this way. And even here we can see the frills. They're not feathers. The frills on the dragon's back going in this direction. And here is an interesting point about the dragon is these two sections here in the throat are, you can see the differentiation in color. These are believed to be the injectors of two different ingredients to make the dragon's breath or venom. And it spits that out down the throat. And this goes all the way up to the head. Of course, the dragon was in a fight. And it comes out. Let's see. Oh. In the throat. Hi, Zoe. How you doing? Oh, those are frills, not feathers. They could be feathers. I don't know. All the way up to the head. Yeah, feathered serpent, right, Desert Rose? I like the squiggly lines. Yeah. So let's go and look at the one. I always like looking at the one in North America just to show people. Easier there. It's a lot easier for people to see, some people to see this one. So here in Mississippi, Arkansas, we have the dragon head. And here the snout, the nostril down here, forehead or eye, I'm not sure. I'd have to really I haven't done a deep search on this one for the actual structures. That looks like it probably is the eye there by Clarksdale. But this dragon neck is going up and around this way. It appears to be a winged dragon. And you can see the feathers going along in this direction, all the way up the East Coast, up to Maryland, Pennsylvania, and here around Connecticut or Massachusetts. It kind of trails off. Some people find that one easier to see. And I believe that one is winged because it has this structure coming out the side. Hey, White Boy 5187. Good to see you. I don't recall your name in here before. Well, it's smudge time. So, if any of you are computer savvy or have the time, you could do a video if you have the talent with Photoshop and all that to outline some of these structures, like the dragons, uh, even the great macaw. Um, there's others we've looked at. Hey, Paradox Fossils, how you doing? I didn't see you popping in there. Yeah, I'm not the Mud Fossil University guy. I'm just a copier, white boy. Not a professional or an expert at this at all. But thank you. Hey, David Barry, how you doing? Dragon, mythical creature, giant reptile, symbolic of chaos in European, but East Asian symbol of fertility associated with water in the heavens. Yeah, there was a seems it seems there was different types of dragons, ones that flew, ones that were most of them were apparently water creatures. That's the ones that I've heard about the most. The flying dragons aren't that common in mythology, but they're there. So, okay. Like river serpents, yeah. The dragons are interesting. You can see where the one in North Africa has its throat cut, yeah, and bled out, yeah. Um, that's hard for me to find, but let's see if I can find it. It looks like looks like it's been cut a few times. It's got a bunch of slashes in it. I think there was one fatal cut, but many little cuts, it seems. I'm nowhere as good at this as Roger, but I'll give it a go. Zero in a little better. Yeah, it's somewhere down here, I think. Is that it? There we go. I found it. Right here. So a big slash through the throat. Right there. You can see the dragon scales that have peeled out with it decaying on some parts of this. But yeah, he had his throat cut. I don't think this was the one from Marduk and Tiamat. This is a separate story of the fish and the dragon. So it probably happened here on Earth when Earth was much bigger and much wetter. We may have even been in Saturn's embrace at that point, being a part of Saturn's system inside its cloud. And who knows how thick that cloud is? There may be creatures that can fly, even swim in the clouds of Jupiter and Saturn. I kind of like to think there are these beautiful creatures, deadly and dangerous, but beautiful. And here's what looks like another cut or a slash in it as well, but not quite as evident as the last one. Oh yeah, looks like a couple slashes maybe. Beautiful, deadly, dangerous creatures, right, white boy? Found a decent way to do split screen so I can go around on Google Earth and see your chat. So if there's anything you guys want to look at, there's the San Francisco Bay dragons. There's only a few that I know of. Those ones you can see the heads, but one of them looks like more like a turtle head. Yeah, so I think there was two, looks like there was maybe a couple smaller slashes here, and then one big fatal slash right there, ending this dragon's life. Yeah, you can see all this flowing out right here. What are they calling that? Ocio, Ued Draya. What is it? Dra. Wow. Ued Dra. Okay. Morocco and Algeria border. Well, that's a neat structure there. Like the way it almost looks like it's sculpted, eh? But it's just biology. That shows you how much the biology really does mimic or can mimic man-made structures. Not that that's perfectly straight, but damn, that's pretty close. So does nature make straight lines? It seems so in some cases. Lines look like veins and arteries. Yeah, well, you can find those on real mud fossils easily. The arteries close up and they hold blood. So the arteries will close up and retain. Change that. Retain the black blood. Let me switch that. So there we go. Okay, so you can see the black dots. That's where the arteries close up and retain blood. And there are other holes, not on this because it's a heart and it's just packed with blood. But on other structures, there will be holes with nothing in them. But on this will have blood in all the structures because it's a heart. Focus. It's a little swan or goose heart. So I do not, Zoe. I have not licked it yet. Not while you're watching, anyway. Why some leaves look like scales. Oh, interesting thought. Can you grow food on that dragon's fossilized embodiment? Yeah, anywhere there's blood, uh, the plants like to grow. Moss loves to grow there. How does this fit in with Egypt? Um, I don't know that it does. Egypt seems to be a later time, like they were up above, right? So this was Atlantis. It fits in. Oh, it does fit in with Egypt, in that Egypt got invaded by these people that left this area. So apparently, what happened was out of this area where Atlantis is in the Eye of Sophia, or the Eye of the Sahara, they inhabited all this area here, and they were basically shipfaring people, and this was an inland sea. And it apparently rushed out into the ocean. You can see the way it went here in the west of Africa. This landscape has been scoured clean down to the bare rock, and then sand is blown over it. All of this was swept out. There was probably people and civilizations here, and they got all swept out into the ocean. And then the survivors invaded Egypt. I don't know why they didn't go and try and make friends, but they chose to invade Egypt. And that's apparently how that fits in. Like the shades in the hat, black shirt. Thanks. Rolled Siggy, you betcha. You don't know that I did, Desert Rose. Johnny Cash style. Thanks, White Boy. I like that. Johnny Cash is pretty cool, I think. But I'm old, so. Eye of the Sahara, yeah. Colorado Mountains and others nearby was islands. Yeah, I've heard that. And there was an upheaval in the Dryas period, that the land heaved up and made it into a part of North America. I've heard that paradox. Are we supposed to be seeing something? Well, we're looking at right now North Africa, where the where the inland sea swept out to the ocean. So, the Sahara region is in for a big change in the next cycle. Yeah, they claim that the water patterns are going to move toward there, to the drier areas, including the Middle East. But, yeah, covered in water. Michigan was almost fully flooded out. Okay, didn't know that. I'm not. Oh yeah, sorry. Thank you. We're looking at absolutely nothing. Okay, so what we have is what happened is there were people living on the fish eye, the eye of the of Sahara, and this was an inland sea, and it flooded out in this area. You can see here how all the landscape has been scoured completely clean. That's because all the water rushing out. And it was said that for years after, you couldn't sail a ship here because of the mud. It was all mud. Yeah, it just looks like a spillway, right? So after that happened, the survivors, I guess not being very nice people, went and invaded uh, Egypt. How's the allergies? Not good. Thanks for asking, James. My eyes all puffed up. That's one of the reasons I have the sunglasses on. I can't go outside because of all the pollen, I think. I haven't had allergies for years. This year they just decided, I think, to attack me. Do you think the dragon and the Leviathan caused the Sierra's oceans to become deserts? No, I think they were the things that made the. I think the creatures were the things that held back the waters. Um, I was going to talk about the Mid Atlantic Ridge too, because that's what I believe uh, happened. Was this is I think the this is the one of the parts of the belly and neck of the giant dragon over in China, and I think that the Mid Atlantic Ridge was a part of the neck containing the brimstone, like we see in the one on North Africa here, but on a much larger scale, and that this entire area here was a pocket of water, and probably many of the other areas on Earth, and that this burst open, and that's how the giants ended up actually flooding. When this burst open, they must have just been washed with steaming hot water, scalding hot, burning them and cooking them. Cook them right away, pretty much, because it would be hot for a long time. But I think this event, that the event of the waters rushing out, was just an erosion. It could have been at this. It was at a later time, I'm pretty sure, than the first flood. What's that? Belly crawlers. Yeah, quercetin, bromelain for allergies. I do take quercetin. Bromelain, I could add. Thank you. Nagas be like serpents slithering. Okay, gotcha. The Nagas, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of good images of the Nagas, and there seems to be a humanoid form as well that we can see on Mud Fossil University, um, and they look just like an upright human, except in lizard form. Where did they go? We haven't seen them anywhere, right? So they must have gone somewhere. I don't think they all died. Are you the Bee Queen paradox? Oh, that'd be cool. There it is. Boom, nailed it. Nice. Not there. No, not here. Yeah. So where did this race of Nagas go? Right. There were dragons. There were Nagas. I think the dragons would be much smaller now, but the Nagas, where did they go? The lizards' forms are at the Buckingham Palace. Yeah, could be. Very well could be. Uh, as David Icke says, it could be just a shift in the frequency, right? Drag queen bee. Yeah. I don't know if she is or not. She could be. Who knows? where did the Nagas go, eh? So many other mud fossils. Another one that I like that I have thought of since I was a kid was North America being a great bird, and it turns out that it could be the great macaw, with the beak over here in North America, the plumage, the head plumage. You know how macaws have a frill on top of their head, and then up here the wings out this way. Gigantic bird. Where did this bird fly? Earth doesn't look big enough for, like, that's a continent. So there's a continent-sized possible mud fossil. Where did it fly? Right? These are the kinds of questions I have about them. There's a huge giant footprint in Africa. Where? Tell me, Deborah. Those bleeding lizards, right? Yeah, when we do remote viewing too, we often run into the reptilians when we're looking for who's in control and manipulating and causing trouble. It does often seem to be those dang reptilians or gray type reptilians. But what we have to do is win the battle on Earth first. And then we'll see if the controllers come down and tell us we've had enough time and just annihilate us again. Oftentimes, when we look into these ancient disasters, even the flood, it seems as though they were kind of a natural occurrence in a way, but that they were aided by outside forces, possibly just to make them extra devastating, just like using weather wars. You just take something that's naturally there and going to happen and amplify it. So, you know, if there's a meteor or a planet headed by, you're a species that has the command to move maybe even the moon. So you could use that type of technology to make a planet, a small planet or an asteroid, go closer to the Earth to cause extra damage. How won the battle or who won the battle? Animals. When they take the sun's photosynthesis away, we go with it. Yep, hence chemtrails. Yep, that is true. We can't live without the sun. We can't grow food. We can live for a while using vitamin D, but eventually we'll run out of food. They treat me like an animal. Yeah, they treat us all like animals. Now there's the World Health Organization is trying to get treaty signed, which will be done without our input, to implement health measures worldwide with all countries involved in the treaty. So you think your government or your state or your province, in the case of Canada, will have a way to ban this because it's an international treaty? They're going to claim that it supersedes all your country's laws, just like the UN has imposed, or sorry, the European Union has imposed on everyone. That when they change a law, these unelected officials, when they change a law, it applies to every country in the EU. So, no, Max isn't here. So what's going to happen is when the World Health Organization declares we all need the jibby jab, guess what's going to happen? They're going to make task forces to go around and do it. And they will do it. So they'll have their Gates plan fulfilled. Yeah, I've heard that, Desert Rose. And here in Canada, we have Bill C-11 that was to replace Bill C-10, which is internet censorship law, news organization outlet, with our CRTC, Canadian Radio and Television Programming. And yeah, yay. No, I didn't say the U.S. is a pterodactyl. I'm a little stuffed up, so you may have misheard me. Yeah, well, they're not even bureaucrats. They're just, they're nobodies, right? So they're going to be dictating what our countries do to us when they lock us down, where we can go, what we can do, what we put into our bodies, all of that under one banner, one universal patch for everyone. And in Canada, we have no way to fight back. You're in the U.S., most of you. You do have ways to fight back. We have only the political system and the justice system, which all seems to be for this thing. So and they crank a natural even up like 5 notches. Yep. Mary wins. Hi. So that's on the way for all of us, whether you're in North America, whether you're in Canada, U.S., European countries, anybody who's paying the World Health Organization. Yeah, all hail Justin Castro. Anybody who's paying the World Health Organization, like we are, you are, is going to be involved in this. So they're going to do whatever they want in the future come the next flu season. And it's all going to happen really fast, guys. So be prepared. I don't know what we can do about it. That would be fun to test, but they should have controlled the tech. They're going to have those things policing. Yeah. Yep, that's right, white boy. People consent by standing mute. These battle bots. What are you on about, Zoe? Yeah, voting. A lot of people don't vote. They don't see the use in the process, and I do understand that. But if you're just ignoring the political system, that's also a mistake too, because there are people out there that are speaking with your voice and what you want. They're just very, very small voices at the moment. They're getting bigger. Hey, Albie, how you doing? Beware the battle drone. Oh yeah, you got to put a kitty face on the battle drone, make it all pleasant and fun. Battle bots with drones, yeah, that'd be fun. You could outfit your drone differently. Don't look at them in the eyes. Well, did anyone have any other mud fossils they want? I wanted to know where that footprint was in Africa, the giant footprint. I have seen ones, like, are you talking giant? Like, there are ones in Europe somewhere that are like, they look like they're about half a mile long. It's ridiculous, the size. I don't know where they are, though. I can't enhance accuracy and cuddle power. Right, Albie. Have you seen the little? They have little zip bots, little zip drones. This one guy took a bunch of off-shelf stuff, a little mini drone. He took a bullet and a little plunger activator, and he made a drone that could do facial recognition with a little camera, and it went zoom right into the forehead of the dummy he had sitting in the back of the room, and put a bullet through the dummy's head. So they could make 1 million of those in China and just drop them from a plane, just looking for people, right? What's the red mark on the U.S. map? Oh, that's, let's see, which one? Kentucky. Let's go in. I forget. Cincinnati. Oh, that's why. This is the cloaca of the North American dragon, I think. Is it? No, it isn't. No. No. I don't know why I have Cincinnati marked there. There is a hole, though. It does look like a hole. And a lot of times we are looking for holes, either blood vessels or mouths or eyes, noses, buttholes. Washington, D.C. is the cloaca, or the butthole, of this dragon, the North American dragon. If you want to take a look at that. There we are. So apparently, according to Roger from Mud Fossil University, this is the butthole of the dragon, or the cloaca. You can see stuff coming out in almost both directions. It looks like there's a spring there practically. Armed with AK-47's nice. Big holes in the middle of nowhere, yeah. I see that one wiggler. Little holes are better than... Okay. Little holes are better? Okay. In the middle of somewhere, right? All right, let's see how long we've been on here for. That's pretty good, an hour. We'll keep this one to an hour. So we've done quite a bit about the mud fossils I know. Not all of them, but the major ones anyways. Got that out. So you guys can, so people can watch that and see where these structures are, how to find them themselves, and maybe how to find more. If you guys find more, my email's in my about section on my channel. You can send me pictures and images that you capture off of Google Earth or maps or whatever you find. And we'll show them and see what we've got. There's 5 in Canada. Dragons? A trip to the portal. Yeah. Time for... Okay. All right, Desert Rose. Okay, guys. Much love to you all. Until next time, keep that third eye open. Use your intelligence and your intuition. Bye-bye.